Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome once again to our technical English lesson for grade 11. This is our second lesson on method 2. It's on page 9 of your course books. Now, let's take a look at our objectives today. In this lesson, we have two main objectives. Number 1, practice scanning by completing a chart with names of devices which allow a robot to operate after reading a text. This means that we're going to scan a text for specific information. Number 2, we will identify 4 ways of expressing the method of doing something when the method is a device. If you remember, in our last lesson, we looked at how to explain the method of doing something when the method is an action, using by followed by verb with ing. For example, you activate the ticket machine by touching the screen. In this lesson, we will look at how to express the method of doing something when the method is a device. First, let's take a look at some words we will come across in the lesson. We have external, detect, receive, receiver, sensor, straight ahead, upright, and vertical. Now let's take a look at them one by one. What is this called? It's called an external hard drive. Why is it called external hard drive? Good, because it is outside of the computer. So external is relating to the outside of something. Can you think of the opposite of external? The opposite is internal. Good. Our next word is detect. Detect means to notice or discover something. For example, police dogs are trained to detect drugs. That is, they are trained to discover drugs. The next word is receive. As you can see here, the message is sent from here and it is received here. So receive means to get or be given something. For example, you can receive instructions from your superior. Our next word is receiver. I think you all have receivers at home. You've seen something like this at home, like the be-in receiver, the one you use to watch football matches. A receiver is a piece of equipment that changes radio and television signals into sounds and pictures. Look at this car here. The car has a parking sensor. The sensor alerts the driver of the presence of another car while parking. So sensor is a piece of equipment used for discovering the presence of light, heat, movement, or similar things. And our next word is straight ahead. Straight ahead means straight forward, no turnings. Our next word is Look at this. Sitting upright and standing upright means upright. Upright means standing or sitting straight up. This position can also be called vertical position. Now, let's begin. What is this? It is a robot. What can robots do? Robots can entertain you, they can clean up, they can even water plants, and many other things. Now, I want you to take a look at this robot here. What do you think this robot can do? How does it work? Think of the answers to these questions and write them down. You are going to read an article about this robot on page 9 of your course book. Now open your course books to page 9. This is the article about this robot on page 9 of your course book. What is the name of the robot? Its name is Morataboy. You're going to read the article and complete this table. You can see that in this column, you have the things the robot can do. For example, it can stay in a vertical position on the bike. In this column, you have the devices the robot uses to do these things. And in this last column, you have the locations of these devices. Great. You can see that we are required in this task to scan the text and find specific information. I hope you remember what is scanning. Scanning is reading a text quickly in order to find specific information. Now, we are ready to start scanning. What is the first thing we need to do? The first thing we need to do is we should know what we are looking for. That is, we should always read and understand the task. This one is pretty easy. We know what we're looking for. We're looking for devices and their locations. Now, once we understand the task, once we understand what we're looking for, what is the next step? The next step is to identify the keywords that will help us find the information we're looking for. Once we've identified the keywords, then we should think of other words that can be used to replace the keywords. That is, the synonyms of the keyword. Because sometimes the words used in the question may not be the same as the ones used in the text. Next, we search the text. Once we find our keywords, we should read the surrounding text carefully to find the information we are looking for. Now, back to our task. You can see that number 1 is done. We will go over it together and then you complete the rest. Now, step 1, what are we looking for? We are looking for a device and its location. Now, step 2, keywords. It can stay in a vertical position on the bike. So now we have vertical position. It can stay in a vertical position. So now, do we know any other words that can be used to replace vertical or vertical position? Yes, we do. We have upright, erect, straight up. Good. So we keep this in mind as we go to the next step, that is search the text. Let's go. Okay, we have here, keeps the robot upright. It can stay in a vertical position, and this is what we're looking for. So now, let's read the surrounding text. We can start with the sentence the keyword is in. That is, this sensor keeps the robot upright and prevents it from falling sideways. From this sentence, we can understand that the device is what? Is a sensor, but we don't know its location yet. So we read the sentences before and after this one. So we have here, one sensor is located in the robot's body. This sensor keeps the robot upright and prevents it from falling sideways. So one sensor is located in the robot's body. Bingo. We found the location. The location is its body. So we have the device is the sensor and the location is the body, just like we have here. Now, pause the video and complete the task. Now let's check our answers. Number 2, we are looking for a device and its location. Our clue, the keyword, it can receive instructions. Okay, so we have receive instruction. Receive here, we can have get instructions or be given instructions. So receive can be replaced using get or be given. From where? From an outside computer. So here we have receive instruction, and from where? From an outside computer. Now, the word outside here, are there any other words we know that can be used to replace outside? Yes, we do. External. Very good. So let's go to the next step. Search the text. We've already searched up till this place and we've only seen something like that. So let's continue from here. Bingo. The robot can receive instructions. Very good. Okay, receive instructions. The same words. Great. From an external. So good. Now we have external computer. So basically, we have everything here by means of. Okay, that is using a wireless receiver. Okay, so our device is wireless receiver. A wireless receiver in the box on its back. So the location is box on its back. Great. Now, following the same process, we will find this one is sensor, this one is frame of the bike, the next one is camera, we have the location is head, and the last one we have sensor, and the location is the chest. Now, let's go to our next objective. We know that the robot robot can look ahead. And the device for this is a camera on its head. Now, how can we join these two statements to explain how the robot can look ahead? Think about it. There are different ways to do this. You can go back to the text. Great. We have the robot can look ahead by a camera on its head. So we added by here. We joined the statements using by. Or we can have the robot can look ahead using a camera on its head. So you can have using, you can use using to join them. Or we can use by using. The robot can look ahead by using a camera on its head. Or we can also have the robot can look ahead by means of a camera on its head. So this table can summarize this. So we can join the two statements using any of these. Now let's wrap up our lesson. We scanned a text to find specific information, and we said the best way to scan is to follow some steps, and we had 4 steps. 1, know what you're looking for, identify your keyword, search the text, and then read the surrounding text where you find the keyword. And then we identified 4 ways of explaining a method when the method is a device. This table is a summary of what we did. So you can use by using, and by means of. This is the end of our lesson. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.